The Time Regulation Institute is a famous Turkish novel by Ahmet Hamdi Tanpinar. It was written in 1961. This book talks about Turkey's journey between old traditions and new modern life. It is funny, but it also makes us think about serious topics. The book shows how Turkey tries to balance Eastern, traditional, and Western, modern ideas. Story summary. The main character of the story is Harry Erdal, a simple, ordinary man. Harry's life is full of problems. He is not very successful and cannot meet society's expectations. He often feels like he does not fit in. One day, Harry meets a man called Dr. Ramaz. Dr. Ramaz is a psychologist with modern, new ideas. He has a strange plan. He wants to create an organization called the Time Regulation Institute. This institute will help people set their clocks to the same time. Dr. Ramaz believes that if everyone has the same time, Turkey will become a better, more organized country. At first, Harry doesn't understand this strange idea, but he needs a job, so he joins the institute. Over time, he becomes one of its important members. At the institute, Harry and others make strange rules, and even teach clock adjusters to help people set their clocks. However, these rules are useless, and the institute doesn't really help people. The institute is only for show. It doesn't make life better, but it tries to look modern. Main characters. Harry Erdal. Harry is a normal man. He is not brave or successful, but he is honest and knows his weaknesses. Harry represents the people who are caught between old traditions and new, modern ideas. His life shows the difficulties of living in a changing world. Dr. Ramaz. Dr. Ramaz has a lot of energy and loves new ideas from the West, Europe. He wants to change Turkey with Western ideas, like science and efficiency. But his ideas are extreme, and he blindly believes in his project, even though it is useless. Dr. Ramaz represents people who copy the West without understanding it. Harry's wife, Amine. Amini is a traditional woman. She represents Harry's simple past life. She shows the difference between Harry's old life and his confusing modern life now. Themes, main ideas. 1. Tradition and modernization. At the center of the novel, we see Turkey's journey from old traditions to a modern Western style. The Time Regulation Institute symbolizes this conflict. It tries to bring Western order to Turkey, but it is pointless. The author shows us that progress should not mean copying others. Change should be useful. 2. The absurdity of bureaucracy. The Institute is a funny look at unnecessary rules. The workers at the Institute do not do useful work. They follow strict rules, but these rules don't help anyone. The author shows us that sometimes rules are meaningless, and they don't make life better. 3. Identity and finding oneself. Harry's story is also about finding himself. He feels like he does not meet society's expectations, and he always feels unsure. At the Institute, he begins to think about who he really is. This shows the question of identity, how people try to understand themselves in a world that changes a lot. Symbols, the clock. The clock is an important symbol in the novel. It represents the clash between old and new. In the old days, people did not care much about exact time. Now, the Institute forces them to live by the clock. This change shows how people's lives are now controlled by modern ideas. The Institute. The Institute itself is a symbol of pointless modernization. It looks like it is helping people, but it doesn't do anything useful. The author shows that change should be meaningful, not just for appearance. Humor and satire. The Time Regulation Institute has a lot of humor. Harry's view of life is funny, and the rules at the Institute are silly. But through this humor, the author shows some important truths. It is not enough to copy other countries. True progress is about finding what works best for one's own society. Conclusion: Ahmet Hamdi Tanpinar's The Time Regulation Institute is a classic of Turkish literature. It explores identity, progress, and tradition. Through Hayri's strange journey, the author questions the value of change for its own sake. At the same time, the novel's humor makes it enjoyable and gives readers a look into Turkey's journey to modernity.